Hello, hi everyone, and this is me, Harshavardhan Bajoria, and I'll be talking about how you can actually polyglot with Python and build your own AI translator in just half an hour. So, this workshop will be of half an hour long, and in this, we'll be covering about different things like what is cloud computing, what is actually Azure, how to use it, and what different AI services that it provides. Along with that, we'll be actually exploring how to build an AI translator of your own so that you can build innovations that can redefine the future. So, who am I? Or we can say Mekonu. So, hi, I am an associate product manager building AI innovations at Unstop, Azure developer lead, MLSA Gold, GitHub Campus expert, 7 times Microsoft certified, Google Cloud Utility certified, founder of Devolved. And in case you wish to connect with me, you can just scan this QR code out here, which you can see over the screen, and we can connect over there. Cool. Now, what are the prerequisites for today's session? So the prerequisites for today's session is either you have an Azure for Students account or an active Azure subscription, Python 3.6 or later, VS Code, and GitHub Codespace. So why is it an or? Because if you have GitHub Codespace, you get VS Code and Python 3.6 right there itself. So you don't have to install it separately, and the links are there, so you can just click and go to that. Now, if you don't know what is GitHub Codespace, that's sad for Mona. But in case you are a student, you can get all of this for free by actually scanning this QR code, and it contains a lot of things out there. So a bonus tip from my side, you can just scan this QR code and get a lot of stuff which can maybe help you explore and also help you in today's workshop to build with $100 free credit for Azure subscription, along with GitHub Pro access, through which you can actually build the Copilot and Codespace so that you can build it with yourself. Now, coming to the question, what is cloud computing and what do I mean by it? So, if I take the technical terms, cloud computing is delivery of computing services over the internet to offer faster innovation, flexible resource, economics of scale. So if I just break it, it's like you can deliver computing resources over the internet so that it can help you get faster innovation, it can help you get things that are flexible and also have economics of scale. Now, okay, this sounds good to you, but what else does it offer? So it has buying services on lease. So it's like you can just take the service and you can just have the pricing model of pay as you go. So whenever you need it, you use it, and when your work is done, you just pay for the time that you have used it for. But let's maybe have some fun and understand it with an example. So let's suppose I'm in a hurry and it's my friend's birthday party out there. Cool. And I'm like, okay, I just want to reach over there on time. And since it's not like a traditional party, it's like I need to have a particular costume which is of Marvel. I need the Iron Man suit right now. What should I do? So I have two options. Either I can actually go to a store, purchase it, but I'm not sure whether I'll be using it again. Or I can go to a rental store and get the things out there from there. Now you might say, okay, rental store sounds feasible. And I go to the rental store, I purchase the clothes, I get ready, and I just return it when my billing time is done. Now, what it offered me, just imagine. I don't have to take care of the clothes right now in the future. Also, I don't have to actually be someone who has to be there and maintain the cloth, also pay the full cost of that particular Iron Man suit. And also, if something new comes up, like Doctor Doom comes up and I like that particular suit, I can actually get that. In fact, it helps me maintain with the fashion, and also reduces my workload of keeping it somewhere. Similarly, what organizations do is when they need a particular resource, it can be any of the IT infrastructure, they go to cloud providers like GCP, AWS, and Azure. They get the IT infrastructure and then they are built based upon the time that they have used it. And once their work is done, they just return it. But okay, I don't require it right now. Now that can be database, that can be some softwares, that can be some services, that can be some platforms that they are actually asking for. Now you might say, okay, sounds good. So it's matching with the cloth example, but still, what do I mean by it? And how does it actually affect my day-to-day work? So cloud computing is actually you getting all the resources that you need and all the services through the internet. So it's like, suppose you are sitting and you are having an idea and you're like, okay, I got the idea, but I don't know how to actually build upon it, or I don't know how to actually go about it. What you can do is actually get some GCP or AWS or Azure, search for the resource or the service that you need. It can be database again, or it can be some platforms like, for example, hosting platforms, or it can be some softwares like we will see right now, some APIs. You can get anything that you need and it's delivered to you via the internet. So you just have to make a call and it's there, which allows you to have flexible availability of resources. So whenever you need something, it's there for you right in front of you, which allows you to have faster innovation because you don't have to now wait for getting that particular item or wait for that particular item to there nearby, along with enhanced security of the providers who actually check and give you some secure solutions. That ultimately allows you to have scale of economy and business, so that you can actually scale your business and your economy whenever your client needs and however the client needs, by lowering the cost. So you don't have to actually go and maintain things right now. It's right there, use it, and when your work is done, just give it back, which ultimately helps you lowers your cost, again depending upon the use case. Now, Azure, the thing that we are going to actually use today. Now you might say, okay, I get it that okay, Azure is just like one another cloud platform, but maybe let's have a look at one of it. So let's go and check out Azure right now. So let me just go to Azure. Let me just minimize the screen. I think something went wrong. Cool. So where is Azure? So yeah, here's the link of portal.azure.com. It's where you need to go when you want to actually go to Azure. So it's opening, it's loading, it's cooking up the resources out there for me. Cool. So this is how portal.azure.com looks like, and if you can see out here, what we have a list of resources that we have, and then we have this panel out here of the recent services that we have used. Now what all it offers to us, you can go to create a resource and you can check it out. So if you see the categories, it has AI and machine learning, it has analysis, it has blockchain, it has compute, containers, database, tools, DevOps, identity integration, IoT, media migration, mixed reality, networking, security, storage, web, each and everything that you can actually imagine of. So let's say you want to do something with EAML. It provides you with Azure OpenAI, AI Search, Azure Bot, Language Service, Speech, API, even AI Services Suite, which we are actually going to see right now along with the speech service. All of it's there. But since we are actually focusing on AI right now, let me show you one amazing thing out there, which is called ai.azure.com. So this is the ai.azure.com space. What it offers you is, first of all, this whole home page where you can see your all the chat playground, images playground, fine tuning playground, and all of that stuff, along with model catalog to actually help you get any of the models that you need out there, just like an API. So if you need Codex Mini, if you need model, if you use Sora, if you need GPT Image 1, GPT 4.1, the latest GPT 5 series, anything that you need from open libraries to OpenAI models, it's right there. In fact, if you want to build your own custom chatbot, you can actually build it out here with the preferred deployment of your own of LLM models. You want to build assistant, you want to have video conversations, audio generation of images, all of this can be done out here itself. You can just go to deployments option and actually deploy one of the model that you need, and based upon that actually you can go and use it. Now okay, this sounds good. What else does it have to offer? So it also has something called your playgrounds of image, audio, speech, language, and all of that stuff. So let me just show it to you once, how it looks like. Maybe it's not in, yeah. So this is the one. So if I go to the playgrounds option, you can see we have chat, video, images, audio, speech, language, assistant, translator, and all of that stuff. What you can do over here is, let's say I go to the chat playground, I have the chat option, then I can create a chatbot and can deploy it out there like a web app where people can use it. Similarly, if I want to do something, let's say with speech, I have real-time transcription, fast transcription, batch translation, pronunciation assessment, voice gallery, and all of that stuff. Now you might say, okay, can we have a look at one of the service? Yep, we can. So let's have a look at this one itself, and maybe let's go to advanced option and let's turn on the language identification. I choose on the continuous operation. I just choose the languages which I'll be speaking in. So I'll be choosing English India for now, since I'm from India, and Hindi India maybe. If you want, let's just turn on speaker dietization, which is I want to actually understand who is this person speaking. So what I'll be doing is actually playing an audio from my phone also, so that we can actually judge how it's working. So let me just play maybe a podcast for now, and let me just check it out what I can play right now. Yeah, so let's just click on record and play it.
इसके साथ ये कॉफी का मग भी ऑर्डर किया, ठीक है। तो ज़रूरी नहीं है कि दोनों चीज़ें उसी पिकर को मिलेगी, एक आपको मिल सकती है, एक मेरे को मिल सकती है, वो बाद में टाई अप हो जाएंगी सिस्टम में जाके, बिकॉज वो शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ ढूंढता है। तो फिर उसके बाद वो वहाँ से जब पिकिंग हो गई तो आपने वहाँ पे शेल्फ से उठाया, आपने उसको 6 साइड से चेक किया कि ये सब सही है कि नहीं, आइटम मैच हो रहा है, कलर मैच हो रहा है, उसका कोई डैमेज तो नहीं है, उसके बॉक्स में डैमेज तो नहीं है, एंड फिर आपने उसको एक कन्वेयर पे डाल दिया टू सेंड टू, हम जिसे बोलते हैं पैक स्टेशन। पैक स्टेशन के ऊपर एक उसको स्कैन करते हैं वहाँ पे जो भी एसोसिएट है, लेडी है, जेंट है, एंड फिर एक रियल टाइम कॉल होता है कि टू डिटरमिन व्हाट इज द राइट बॉक्स साइज। तो हमारे पास कई बॉक्स टाइप्स हैं और हमारे पास मिलियंस ऑफ, हम उन्हें एसिम बोलते हैं बट एसकेयू समझ लीजिए, मिलियंस ऑफ एसकेयूज हैं। उस एसकेयू के लिए बेस्ट बॉक्स साइज क्या है, देयर इज अ मशीन लर्निंग एल्गोरिथम। वो कैसे डिटरमिन होता है, जब वर्ल्ड के एफसीज में अपडेट हो जाता है साइज वाले, एग्जैक्टली 3 प्लाई 5 प्लाई बॉक्स में जाएगा कि अब ये बड़े बॉक्स में जाएगा कि ये पेपर में जाएगा। फिर उसके बाद ईद के टाइम पे एक और रेट पहुंच जाएगा टेबल के ऊपर, वो मिल गया उनके साथ, वहाँ से वो एक
दोनों मिक्स कहाँ वो उस when I went to the center, वहाँ पे मैंने देखा था वो येलो कलर का एक ऐसा ट्रे जैसा कुछ होता है जिसमें वो अपना प्रोडक्ट
कहते हैं उसे, हाँ करेक्ट, हाँ
उसमें डालते हैं, फिर वो स्कैन करते हैं और आगे भेज देते हैं। एंड देन जहाँ पे पैक हो रहा होता है बॉक्स में, वो उस येलो वाले में से उठा के पैक कर देता है।
करेक्ट।
तो उसको कैसे पता कि कौन सा ही बॉक्स में किसका डालूंगा?
तो
Cool.
जो
So let me just
जिस
stop
नोट में
it.
ऐसे आई
So as you can see, what we got, it actually identified English and Hindi out there. Also, something pretty amazing is it actually told that okay, guest 2 is speaking, guest 1 is speaking, and with the timelines of it. So if you can see, my voice has been saved as guest 3 out there, and it's pretty amazing to see how this works. It's actually real time. So if you can see, as I am speaking out there, it's writing it completely, and it's working particularly very good. So this is how the whole thing works, and let's say I'm very happy with it, and now I want to deploy it. What I can do is actually click on the view code option and get the source codes of sample code, quick start, or documentation, which makes it easy for me, along with the endpoint, resource key, and region, so that I can actually go and deploy it. Now it becomes such an easy tool for me. Similarly, if I want to just fine tune it, I click on the fine tune option and choose what I want to actually fine tune, whether I want to add avatar, I want to add some questions, I want to add some voice, or I want to add something else, which is speech or translation. I can actually do that and get it done. So now you got an idea or gist of it, how things work, and what is Azure giving it to you. Now you might say, okay, I get it, and this seems particularly fair to me, but how can I actually build one? So we were planning to build a model out there today. So let's go back to the PPT, and we are actually going to build a model today, which is using Flask. So if you don't know Flask, Flask is, or maybe let's explore one by one. So what we're going to do today is, first of all, set up the development environment, then explore Flask fundamentals, then create an app, and finally do the translation. So are we going to ChatGPT? No, we aren't going to do ChatGPT. So we saw right now that building with AI does not need a lot of coding. You actually get that APIs out there through which you can actually build stuff that can be pretty meaningful out. Now, okay, cool. What do we need to do set up the development environment? Do we have to be like this monkey out there who is very tired and frustrated? Or do we have something in our house right now so that we can build it without any frustration? So we have the complete suite, which you can get by scanning this QR code that takes you to the GitHub of this particular repository. So just quickly scan this, and I'll be waiting for you to scan it, maybe for 1 minute. You can just pause the video if you want to. Cool. Now where it takes you to this particular page of GitHub repo. Cool. Now what do you have? You have two options. Either you clone the repo and then you set up this particular environment, which looks like this, of installing Python, installing VS Code, create the project ID, create a Python virtual environment, install Flask and other libraries. Or be a smart person, directly go over here to code space, and click on create code space on main. What it does is creates a virtual machine, that is a machine which looks just like VS Code, has all the configurations ready for you, and installs all the things that are required. So you don't have to install Python or all of that stuff. it's already there. You might say, okay, are you kidding? No, I am not. So if I just want to check, I can just type python 3 hyphen 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 version, and you see I got python 3.12.1 installed already in my system, which is in the virtual machine itself. So okay, I get it, this is there. Do I need to do anything else? Yes, you need to go to applications folder. So you are in the applications folder right now. Let's clear it. Now if you go to the applications folder, you can see requirements.txt. Just type pip3 install -r requirements.txt to install all of the libraries that we would be needing. So we'll be needing Flask, python.net and request. So let it just download all of that stuff. Yep, it's ready. Let's just clear it, and now we are ready to go. Cool. So we have this particular thing, but before that, let's explore and see what do we mean by Flask if you don't know. So let's just go to the PPT and see what is Flask. Flask is just an open source web micro framework. Now, okay, what do I mean by it? So it's first of all open source, and second, it's a web micro framework that it has components which you can use to actually just incorporate in your app and run it out there. Now you might say, okay, I still get some idea, but what it actually allows me? So it allows you to actually create a Python frontend through which you can actually use your whole command and do it for your own purpose. So if I just go back to the code, let's go back to the code out here. What you can see is in the app.py, if I use Flask, what I have is a complete rendering method and a rendering template, just like we have in React and the services, through which I can actually call some routes and do some tasks out there, and then render the template accordingly from the templates folder, which contains the HTML templates. So HTML page that we have is stored over here. Now, what is routes? So whenever we use a web application, we actually tell that, okay, browser, take me to this particular URL, which is uniform resource locator, which if you just want to understand, it's like I just go to the server and say, please bring me this particular information out from there. So like suppose if I go to this particular address and tell someone that, okay, I want to actually visit this, they take me to the main page of this particular website. If I just add that, okay, project/widgets, it takes me to the details on a widget. Similarly, if I take to /cart/buy, that takes me to the complete a purchase. It's like navigating in a house that you have with different rooms, where you just add that, okay, in this house I want to go to this particular room, where we use actually two methods, get and post, to actually get the data from the user, and regardless of the verb, information can always be returned to the user. It's not just that, okay, post is for post, get is for get. So in today's application, we will be having user request form via get, which goes to the server. Then server sends the HTML form, which will be shown to you. User will complete the form and send the results via post request, and server processes the information and gives it as in an HTML result. Cool. We would be having these two particular templates out there of slash, which will go by method, and they both will render different things out there. One will render index.html, which is the basic template for form filling, and one will render results.html that will have some data. sent towards it so that we can actually get the data processed and do something out there from it. So let's go back to the code and see how it works. So over here, if you see, we are importing the packages. Let me just zoom it. We are importing the packages. Then we are saying that okay, app has the Flask, and if there is a slash and the method is get, then you render this particular template for me, which is index.html, which goes to templates index.html, and this is what it renders. Cool. So a simple, if you see, an h1 heading of translation service, a div, then a form which asks me to actually choose a language from the list, and the text area is there with a button to click on and translate. That's it, which submits the form. And if it's a post method, then just take the original text from the form that we had submitted previously, the target language. These are the keys and the endpoint and the location that we'll be actually looking at after a few minutes, along with some headers so that there is no course error out there, and also all the authorization are done. And make the translator request, something we are doing that we'll again get back to, and then render this template with the data. So what it does is render this results.html and sends the data to it in this particular format to be shown. Cool, simple. Now how to run it is just type Flask run, and since we are in a virtual machine, it will forward the port to some address, like it has done to friendly space waffle. Now we have the translation service out here with the index.html being shown. So okay, we have this, and we can type anything out there. We can choose a language, and let's check out the .env, and since we don't have the key and the endpoint in the location, when I will type translate, it will give me an internal server error. Now why isn't it working, and how do I implement the translator service? Pretty simple. One method is going to the playgrounds and then going to the option of where is the option, translator, and click on text translation, test it out, and then just view code and get the keys and all of that stuff, or maybe just code from here and use it. But let me show you how it's built. So layman terms, come to portal.azure.com, type over here speech, or maybe just type translator. You got the translators. Click on create. Since you only need translator, so just create the translator one right now. Let's create a new resource group, which is like a group of resources through which you can manage. So let's create a new one for now. I click on create new. I just type we do AI 2025, and it's accepted. I can choose a region, so let's choose India, Central India for now. Let's give it a name. We do AI 2025, and let's go for free pricing, and let's click on next. You can either create it for MAN, LAN, or disable it for all other networks, but I'm including it for all. Then you can actually choose IAM policies and give it tags for location and billing purposes. I just choose to ignore it for now, and I click on review and create. When I click on review and create, I get an automation template in case I want to automate the stuff, but I don't want to right now, so I click on create and it creates one for me. So deployment is in progress, and it's done. I can click on go to resource and I get this particular page of resource group. Okay, my resource group is ready, my service isn't. So let's just wait for a couple of minutes for the service to be shown over here. Yep, we can see it. Let's click on it. So this is the translator service that we have. What I can do is actually have auto detect. So let me just type hello, how are you, and you can see it detected that okay, the language is English. This is how you have to send the request. It gave me the API format, the response, okay, the detected language is this, the confidence percentage is this, and if I want to convert to Spanish, the text comes this, and this is the language code. I can choose from any of the language that's out there. So if I want to, maybe let's go to German, or I'm not getting it right now, or maybe let's go to Bangla for now, and I can see I got the Bengali version of it, which is Shola Shumi Kesho, something like that. And similarly we have all other languages that you can actually use, so you can actually go ahead and check it out. Now suppose you are happy with it and you want to just use it right now, what I can do is go to sample code and I can get the code over here itself, and even I can insert my keys in the sample itself so that I can actually use it directly. So if I click on Python, this is what we are going to use. So what you need is a key, an endpoint, a location, the path which is constructed like this, which is https API coordinative Microsoft translator.com/translate, the params which comes in, the headers, and then the body in this particular format that we saw previously, along with just the request being sent along with the headers and the response being shown to us. And this is what the same that you will be getting in the code itself. So if I go to the code of app.py, you can see we have the same thing. We have the original language, we have the target language, the key, endpoint, and the path created the same way, the headers, the body in the same fashion, request being sent, request coming, we passing the request, getting the only the crux that we want, and then just sending it out. Pretty simple, right? Now let's just fill in the envs. So let me just go to resource management, keys and endpoints. Okay, copy the key, go over here and let's just paste it out. And similarly let's copy the region and paste the region, save it. Cool. Now I have it ready, and if I go over here and I click on translate, it still gave me an error because I need to actually rerun it. So okay, let me just close it for now, flask run, and okay, I got it. Hello, how are you? And let's choose German since I have learned that. We have got Guten Tag, wie geht's dir? Sounds pretty amazing, right? You can try another one. You can give any of the text that's out there and it can do it for you. So yeah, please go ahead and test it out. It has all the links mentioned over here. If you face any issue, let me know. It also gives you next steps, so you can just go and check it out. It's pretty simple and straightforward, and you can explore most services over here in the ai.azure.com space which has language, image, speech, and everything that you can actually imagine of right now. And all of them are pretty simple to use, just like the one that you saw right now. So we have all of this, and this is the application that you can go and build and deploy it, and it's just like Python that you're using. So yeah, make sure that you make complete use of it, and salute to Azure for building such an amazing platform out there. And especially the translator part that we saw right now was part of the cognitive service through which you can actually convert to dozens of languages out there. Just make sure one thing, that you manage your keys, and also keep checking this particular page of let's go to the overview option. So you have got that monitoring option so that you can check how many errors, how many characters have been made, how many request has been made. It takes a bit of time to actually update it, but yeah, you can actually set alerts and all of this, and make sure that you do when you are making production level applications, because again that would define how your work is done and you don't lead into any of the troubles out there. And just capture the Azure and create the translator service. We have done all of this, and you can maybe scan this QR code in case you wish to get any of the resources that's out there. Also, we learned, we came, we saw, and we coded out there, and we should be proud of it. Let me know on LinkedIn if you face any issue. I'll be there to help you and guide you out there. You can just search by my name, Harshavardhan Bajoria, and you can get all of my credentials on Google itself. And thanks a lot for joining us today for the session. Hope you liked it, and do share your feedback. Thank you.